Howdy folks, Matt here with Gulf Coast Fit. Gonna bust out a very quick micro session at the very low end of duration for these micro sessions. This is gonna last 3 minutes, and what I'm doing is a stamina challenge. Short duration with a full body athletic movement. That's a rainbow lunge. Rainbow lunges are one of my favorite lunge variations because they're so layered. They're very three-dimensional. You're working all three planes of motion. Transverse plane with a lot of trunk twisting. The frontal plane, bringing your arms with a weight. You can do these unweighted too. I'm gonna use a 15-pound slam ball. Ball's coming up and over just like a rainbow in the frontal plane. And then you're lunging forward in the sagittal plane. So when you've got all three planes of motion working simultaneously, then that's more challenging as far as your focus goes, your timing, your coordination, your rhythm, and overall movement pattern and body awareness practice. So this 3-minute challenge, my goal is to do as many good quality rainbow lunges in 3 minutes as possible. Just like plenty of our micro sessions, it's not simply the goal to do as many reps as possible or to go as fast as possible. We set a 3-minute duration, so that way if you're chipping away at it and strategically choosing if and when you need to take a slight rest pause, that you can do so and then go right back into it. And 3 minutes should be enough time to get enough practice in with this movement pattern and to address the capacity we're going for, which is stamina. Wouldn't classify this as endurance. Endurance generally is a longer duration and a little bit less of a powerful athletic movement. Stamina typically refers to shorter duration, a little bit more aggressive reps of whatever you're doing, such as max effort push-ups or max effort squat jumps, or maybe a 400-meter dash or a half-mile sprint or run. Something that lasts a few minutes or several minutes. That's a little more stamina based. When you're running a marathon or doing a triathlon, an Ironman, or even something like a 10K, that's endurance. So that's more sustained at a lower intensity. This is a little higher intensity, shorter duration, a little more athletic, and a little bit more dynamic. So 3 minutes on the clock. And again, my primary goal here is to get 3 minutes of high quality movement pattern practice in. I'm going to focus on all three planes of motion that I'm operating in while always staying present with my breath. Your breath is your best friend on these micro challenges. It's your best training partner. So always back to your breath when you feel like things are starting to fall apart a little bit. It really dictates your performance and your recovery. Here we go. Make sure you're still with me. Chip. Nice, you got a little volleyball action in the background. Try not to be too distracted by the volleyball players. Pay attention to the rainbow lunges. Not that I'm attention seeking. Hopefully I'm in the frame. And there's 3 minutes. Oh, so that may not look or seem very intense, but when you've got so many moving parts operating at the same time, they need to be in sync and in rhythm with each other, then it hits you hard. That's definitely right on the money as far as what I wanted out of a 3-minute stamina-based challenge. So immediately I decided, going into it, I thought I'll do 10 or 12 reps at a time. Got to 8 reps, decided to put the ball down, even though I didn't have to, take a couple of long deep breaths, and continue doing sets of 8 with 2 long deep recovery breaths between. You don't want to max out initially and do 15, 20 reps and then be required to take 30, 45, 60, whatever. You don't want to take a long rest period when you've only got 3 minutes. You want to figure out how to squeeze in as much good quality practice as possible given the duration. So that's part of the fun of learning your body, becoming aware of what your physical and mental capacities are. Mental stamina is the other side of things. And that way you can tweak these micro sessions to your best interest and get the most out of them. In this case, I feel like 8 with 2 breaths was pretty right on the money. I might also try it with 5 reps and 1 breath, 5 reps, 1 breath. See how that works for me. I'd also be interested in seeing if I could hang and improve by doing 10 reps or 12 reps with the same 2 recovery breaths. I would suggest, well, for myself personally, I don't want to take more than 3 or 4 recovery breaths. That eats into the time too much. When you've only got 3 minutes, you don't want to spend that much time resting. So 2 breaths probably take me 6 to 8 seconds, no more than 10 seconds each time I had to rest. And that, I'm going to try to keep that recovery period down to a minimum. So I wouldn't want to rest any longer than 3 or 4 if I absolutely had to. Keep in mind that your rep scheme doesn't need to stay constant. I could have chosen to do 20 reps up front, take as short of a break as I could, then I might immediately go down to 5 reps or 8 reps or whatever. I could start with 10 reps, go down to 8 at a time, 6 at a time, piece together 2 at a time if you have to. Just figure out what you need to do to keep the quality and the standards high of the movement that you're executing while getting as much practice as possible in. So that's a 3-minute quickie that would be great if you're short on time. You do need to feel like you're limber and loose and warmed up enough to be able to operate in all 3 planes of motion under control and safely. But you can squeeze that in, and that's the idea with the micro sessions. You pick and choose what you're able to handle given your busy lifestyle, and we can all find 3 minutes to plug in a great little stamina challenge like that. You might spend a couple minutes before and after stretching, do a little yoga, active recovery, active mobility work, but still, in 10 minutes or less, you did something that was highly productive with a high workout economy, and these micro sessions add up. So if you plug in micro sessions consistently, day in and day out, they don't set you back very far. That allows you to keep training with high frequency, refining your skills, and moving forward in your physical capacities without the neurological or muscular soreness setback of long, high intensity, or just long duration training sessions. So give it a try, 3 minutes, and it feels good and productive. Should leave you hungry, wanting a little bit more, but that's a good sign. It's a good, healthy sign. Catch you later. Make my way over here.